Hey friends, how you doing? I'm Christiana Gaudet. I am live on my YouTube channel and it is time for our Oracle card workshop. If you happen to be watching the replay, thanks so much for being here. Please do comment. I won't get back to you right away, but I will get back to you. For those of you who are here with us live, so great to see you. Thank you for being here. I'm looking in the comments and noticing that there are some of you here who are not Oracle card people. You're tarot people. You don't have Oracle decks. The question is, by the time we're finished with this conversation, will you want to get an Oracle deck? Will you want to make an Oracle deck? Will you not? It'll be very interesting to see. It's so nice to see all of you here. For those of you who came to the WDA event today, thank you for being there. Really appreciate it. I do want to remind you that we have a Room and Zoom class coming up on November 30th. It's a really exciting tarot class about how tarot communicates. Specifically, how tarot communicates about body stuff. Yes, we're going there. I know they say you should never do health readings, but oh, we're going there. How tarot helps people communicate with each other. How tarot communicates with spirit. So all the different ways that tarot is a tool of communication, that's what we're going to be looking at. So you can get a ticket. You got to go to my website, christianagaudet.com, and that's coming up on November 30th. All right. So, and you can also see that all our December classes are up and ready to go. So you can make note of those, our December classes and meetups here on YouTube. And of course, StarCon tickets are available. You can join us for StarCon in person or online, in person in Palm Beach Gardens or online on Excel events. And there are many ticket levels from $50 up to $425. So I'm sure there is a ticket available for you. Starcon.com, STAARCON.com. All right. Angelic Michelle, can we buy the class up to the day? Yes, you can. If you're coming in Zoom, if you're coming in person, maybe yes, maybe no. But if you're coming Zoom, yes, you can. Yes, you can. So I would love to know, just looking at the people here, and I'm so happy to see all of you. And a special shout out to our members. You can tell who the members are because their names are in green. These are people who make a monthly commitment to keep this channel going. So just a big round of applause for all of our members. We appreciate you. And what I'd like, I'm happy that you've already started doing what I wanted you to do, which is to let me know right now what your relationship is with Oracle decks. Do you have them? Do you not have them? Marion, hi, nice to see you. You have lots of oracles and made one of your own too. Tell us about the one that you made and what it is and how you made it, and tell us of the ones that the ones you didn't make. Is there one that's your favorite? Okay. Good Journeys Tarot. I have a few decks, but find them difficult to work with. Yeah. It's an interesting thing. We'll go over sort of the different types of oracles. Angelic Michelle has a ton of them, not as many as tarot, but a lot. Do you have a favorite? Do you have a favorite? What do you like and how do you use it? For those of you who enjoy working with Oracle decks, what is your favorite and how do you use it? That's what we'd like to know. And Caroline, nice to see you here. I have a new Oracle deck called the Threadbound Oracle. It's a beautiful deck. And this is the thing. A lot of the Oracle decks are just gorgeous, man. The pictures are so great. But how do you use it? What do you do with it? What do you do with your Oracle decks? Now, for those people who are like, what's an Oracle deck? What are we talking about here? Let me go over some nomenclature. First of all, technically, the word oracle can mean any tool used for divination, which means tarot is also an oracle. The word oracle can mean any person who performs divination. So we are all oracles. Oracle can also mean the place where the divination is done. So here I am in my oracle. Those who come to see me come to the oracle. And the oracle is also the message that you've received. So technically, those are the meanings of the word oracle. But in modern times, in our community, we use the term oracle decks to talk about decks of divination that do not fall within a particular system, such as tarot or Lenormand or Kipper. And so an oracle deck is a unique thing created by an artist or deck designer according to their own specifications. So like tarot, you expect 78 cards. Maybe there's a couple more or less, depending on how creative the artist got. But basically 78 cards divided into two sections, major arcana, minor arcana. Minor arcana has 4 suits, each suit related to one of the 4 elements. That's the structure. In an oracle deck, using the terminology the way it is commonly used, the structure is whatever the heck you want it to be, whatever the heck the artist wants it to be. So I have here, right next to me, like 11 different oracle decks. And I was going to share them with you just to show you some of the differences. And I want you to think, as we're looking at them, I want you to think about like, okay, if I had a deck like that, how might I use it? Do you have a deck like that, and how do you use it? Would you like to have a deck like that? And if you were to create a deck, how would you create it and what would it do? Sally Larkin, I'm so happy to see you. We miss you here so much. We're glad that you're here. You're using Magical Times. This one? I love this one. It's one of my very, very favorites. All right. So Kathy, you've got a couple, but you haven't used them. Do you have them with you? Can you tell us what they are? Cheryl, nice to see you. Good Journeys Tarot. Rosemary, can you tell us what makes the oracle decks difficult to use? Okay. Let's see. Okay, sorry. Here we go. Jamie Saunders, nice to see you. Thanks for being a member here. You're using the Sacred Forest Oracle deck and haven't used it before. Rick, nice to see you. I'm new to Oracle decks, but I get them to complement tarot. The Inner Child, Sacred Geometry Activations, Whispers of Love, and Windows of the Soul. And so using an Oracle deck with a tarot deck, there are numerous ways to do that. For example, you might use an oracle card at the beginning to sort of set the tone for the reading. You know, maybe this is, you know, you pull a card and you sort of say, well, maybe this will be something that we're looking for in this reading. You might pull a card at the end to tie up the reading, or you might use oracle cards to clarify, or you might even use a spread that uses both tarot and oracle. So those are ways you can use oracle with tarot. Tell us how you do it. Hey, Julia, nice to see you. Glad you're here. Thanks for being a member here. Yes, I did present at WDA today. It was fun. Karen Winkle, nice to see you. Thanks for being a member. I have a bunch that are packed away while I'm remodeling my spirit room. I managed to find one for tonight. I usually end a tarot reading with an oracle message from the universe. Very good. Very good. Particular favorites? What do you like? Dave, nice to see you. I thought oracle decks were religious people's gentle tarot, so I didn't trust them. I've since learned that's the early ones. I'd like to get an animal oracle deck. We'll see. Good. Kyla, it's nice to see you. Thanks for being here. You just received the Phenomenon Oracle and are loving it. Tell us how you use it. Adrian Worthy, nice to see you. Thanks for being a member. I have a few and only use them to draw a card of the day. And that's a beautiful practice with any sort of a deck, but certainly a card of the day would make sense with an oracle deck. Let us know what decks you use. Angelic Michelle, again, thanks for being here and thanks for being a member. I have multiple favorites for different things. I love Magical Times Empowerment cards. Man, this deck is getting a lot of love. Magical Times Empowerment cards by Jody Bergsma, published by US Games. Can't go wrong with that one. when I need to be uplifted, and so many others for different reasons. And I think that's the thing. Like, you can use tarot for anything, right? And Lenormand, you can really use Lenormand for anything. I think that oracle cards can be more specific, more intention specific. And that may be the thing. We'll take a look. I'll show you what I got going on here. Okay, so Diana Price, thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. Divine Circus to draw for me, and the Oracle deck of Black Enchantment for Halloween. I use them for clarification. Very good. Betty Flesher, nice to see you. Thanks for being a member. I'm liking Quantum Oracle and Energy Oracle decks. Very cool. Marion, the one I made is pictures of flowers. I look at each flower, and the first word that comes to my mind, I use as a key word. Made them into stickers and stuck them into wooden rectangles that I've painted. We want pictures. Oh my gosh, how cool is that? If you'd be willing to share and send me a couple of pictures, I'd put them up in the community chat on this channel, if you wouldn't mind. That would be so cool. I'd love to see them. I think the creation of an oracle is such a good concept, and we're going to talk about that more. That's beautiful. Okay, Charles, again, thanks for being a member. Our son-in-law uses one. I'm still learning tarot, and Joanne uses a deck called Women's Runes. Okay, sorry, I just overscrolled again. Okay, Ali Mammon. First question is, are Oracle decks good at divination and deep problem reading since it has no system? Is it possible to even read reverse cards to get more than a fluffy reading? Well, first of all, reversals do not make a reading less fluffy. Even in tarot, that's not what reversals do. You know, the idea that like reversals are negative or something like that. I mean, maybe in your practice they are, but that feels kind of limiting to me. Like I would encourage you to expand a little on that. And whether or not you're using reversals should not determine whether a reading is, you know, profound and deep and specific and accurate versus light and fluffy and, you know, unicorns coming out of your butt. And I do think, though, to your point, I do think that a lot of Oracle decks sort of seem that way, and especially like, okay, so Magical Times empowerment cards. It's not like you're going to run across a card like, but you might actually. No, I'm going to take that back. I was going to say like you wouldn't run across a card like the Three of Swords or the Tower, but there are cards like that in Oracle decks. There absolutely are. So yeah, if you can do as deep a reading as you want with any kind of tool, you just have to have the skill to do it. Absolutely. Yes, there are. Julia, I have a few very select Oracle decks. I feel like they may be a nice add-on to a tarot reading. That's what we're hearing a lot today, is sort of an add-on to a tarot reading. Kathy, I have Oracle of the Fairies and Life Purpose. And so Life Purpose, I mean, clearly we talk about like a deck with a purpose. I assume that the Life Purpose Oracle, its purpose is to help you figure out your life purpose, which is interesting because it suggests that you have a predetermined life purpose, which is a belief set in and of itself. So if you don't have that belief set, if you don't believe that there's a predetermined life purpose, that may not, you know, that may not be a deck for you. For example, I've got a similar thing going on here with Awakening Far Memory. These are reincarnation cards. So if you don't believe in reincarnation, this deck would be useless. But likewise, you wouldn't use it for anything else. You wouldn't use it for anything other than to read about past lives. And if you look at it, it's kind of interesting. There are cards that speak to like what may have happened in a past life, like starvation or government or a culture that has slavery, right? So, and there's like different parts of the world are like, okay, here we have city, right? So you were in a city. So that's kind of interesting. But again, it has this very specific purpose, as I would think Kathy's life purpose deck would have. Good journeys, Tara. I guess I'm more of a systems and structure kind of person. I hear you. I use the Creatures of the Moon some before bed because it has a system to it that I understand. And yeah, there are oracle decks, like this one actually has a very specific system. There are oracle decks that have a system, and you can learn that system and work with that deck. But unlike tarot, like if you learn the system of tarot, every other tarot deck you work with, at least within that same tradition, and even without, you'll have a pretty good idea how to work with it because you understand tarot, right? Oracle cards are not that way. Kyla's, I use an oracle card as a focus for a reading and then build out with tarot. Yeah, we're getting a lot of good ideas about how to use oracle decks with tarot. I appreciate this. Sally, I really only use one card at a time paired with a tarot reading, or when I suddenly feel a card needs to be pulled for me or someone else. Absolutely. Good journeys, Tara. Rosemary, I also have the, is it Poesis? Poesis? I don't know how I would say that oracle when I am related, which I am relating to a little. I think the very abstract way the art is done on it triggers my intuition. Yes, yes, yes. Angelic Michelle, I also love the Dorian Virtue decks, yet I know the controversy, but her work during that time really resonates with me. And I happen to have right here Healing with the Angels oracle cards. Now, I'll tell you, I bought this as a gift from my mother back in like the 1980s or 90s or something. And when she died, I went into her library and took it back. I was like, okay, this is mine now. But she loved it. And it is beautiful. It's a beautiful deck. It's a 44 card deck with a book. And it's absolutely lovely. And Karen Winkle has a suggestion for Dave about a particular animal deck. And Sally, what is the thought on reversals with oracle decks? I mean, if you read the book and the book has a method for reversals, fine. If it doesn't and you want to use reversals, I mean, if you think about, like, in my opinion, the best way to use reversals with tarot is to think about how every tarot card exists on a spectrum from, its most natural meaning to the avoidance of that, or putting that in the past, or putting it in the future, or forcing it too much, too little, and so the reversal will take it somewhere out on the spectrum there. I think you could use reversals with any oracle card using that method. That whatever, okay, so like for example, let me go with Healing with the Angels, if you wanted to. And I'm sure that Dorian did not intend this, but whatever. So I have pulled Harmony. So if it came up reversed, it might be that I was trying so hard to make things harmonious that I wasn't addressing what the problem was. Or it might be that I'm feeling a greater need for harmony, or that I'm feeling like we are in disharmony. So that's how I do that. I don't know. What do y'all think about that? Okay. Karen Winkle, using the Isis Oracle tonight. Not one I've used before, so this will be fun. Very good. Lisa Cooley, have Dorian Virtue, Angel, and Romance Oracles. Haven't used yet, but heard good for the end of a reading close. Haven't used yet, though. Cheryl, I have 10 different oracle decks, not in the habit of using them. Sarah, nice to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. Okay, Adrian. And again, thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. Oracle of Mystical Moments, the Roar Oracle, Past Life Oracle cards, Uncover Your Past Life Oracle, Crystal Ally cards, and Crystal Reading cards. My goodness. I love the Mystical Moments and Roar, which stands for Radiant, Outspoken, Audacious, Rebellious Women. The others I haven't really worked with, but want to really delve into past lives. Cool. Marion, I feel there's a misconception that oracles are all fluffy. I have darker oracles. I do find that indie decks go to darker places more than mass market. Agreed. Lisa Harmon, nice to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. Either Moonology or Mystical Wisdom decks. Yeah, I hear you. Absolutely, absolutely. Okay. Okay, Karen Winkle now wants Awakening Far Memory. Got it, got it. Diana Price, and again, thanks for being here and thanks for being a member. I was thinking because of so many relationships questions, getting a deck on love, I think it may be easier. Except, you know, okay, well, let's play with that. Let's play with that. I'm going to roll all the way down to the end. Someone here who has a love life question. I'm going to do the first one I see. So get to thy keyboards, folks. If you have a love life question, type in a love life question. I'll do the very first one with whatever oracle deck I want, and we're going to see. Now, I don't have an oracle deck that's just for love, to be fair. But even if you did, I just don't know. I just don't know. I don't know how well that would work, honestly. I just don't know. And Angelic Michelle about the reversals says that's how I read reversals when they're not in the book. Sunita is using the Oracle of the Seven Energies. Very good. Good Journeys Tarot. I have seen a lot of very beautiful decks, which I ended up not buying because the keywords on them just did not work with the image for me. And there's that word again. Spectrum must be the word of the week. Yeah. And Diana says, use your intuition on reversal. Sure, sure. Right. Kyla's, the spellcasting oracle has excellent keywords. And there are also 48 cards, which is great. Peggy Lou, thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. I have dozens of oracle decks, started with them in the 1980s because I wasn't ready for tarot way back then. Power deck, medicine wheel. Now that's an oracle deck. I don't have that, but that's a great one. Past lives, spirit messages, wrap up. You wrap up T and let C pick them. Wrap up tarot and let the client pick one. Robin Renee, nice to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member, and thanks for using one of the member-only emojis. The Hip Hop Queens Oracle deck is scheduled for delivery tomorrow. Yay. And Peggy Lou likes Ethony's Modern Goddess and Tarot Muses. Diana, I have never asked a love life question. That's so funny. Okay, here we go. Rick, will I meet my lover partner? So, but what does that question mean? Does that mean you have one and you haven't met them yet? Like it's an online thing or a distance thing? Does that mean, are you asking if you will meet someone that you'll be in a relationship with? The way you say it, will I meet mine? It's almost like you feel like there's someone who is destined for you. So is that what you're asking? So before I answer that, I want clarification on that question. And that, by the way, is a matter of technique for any divination with tarot, oracle, whatever. That when people ask their questions, definitely get the clarity on the question, because the answer is only going to be as clear as the question. Okay, and Rick, you've said 2 yeses, but I don't know what you're saying yes to because I asked a bunch of questions. So clarify. Give me more words, more words. Okay. And Ana Luisa, so nice to see you using Symbolon. That's a very good one. And Angelic Michelle has a love life question too. Okay. Charles Smith, will our marriage last another 42 years? Okay, so while I'm waiting for Rick, I'll do a couple of love lives. And let's just see. Okay, I'm picking up Art Through the Star Stream Oracle. And so Charles, they've been married for 42 years. Now, we recognize, the chances of them both living another 42 years are slim. But the energy of the marriage, is the energy of the marriage a lasting energy? Let me pull one card from the Oracle deck. And it says, be calm and anchor your energy. And there's the picture. And so that says to me that the marriage can absolutely be lasting as long as the things that are upsetting are dealt with in a calm way, and that you work together on staying grounded as individuals and grounded with each other. So that's what I do with that. Okay, Smile Soul 20. Will I meet a life partner in 2022? Okay. Let's use another one of those angel cards and see how that goes. Okay. Okay, self-acceptance. So this is really interesting because that would sort of say to me, yeah, maybe, but you have to be your own best partner first. If you do not accept yourself first, it's going to be hard for you to find a good partner. So work on being a good partner to yourself. So would a deck that was specific for love life be easier for these things? Would tarot be easier for these things? I do not know. I do not know. Okay, so Rick, okay. Okay, so Rick, I haven't met that person yet, but wanting to be in a relationship. And so I'm assuming then that it's someone that you have not yet met online at all, that you're just hoping for a relationship. All right, that's what I'm going with. And let's go here. Mystical Wisdom card deck. This has art by Josephine Wall, which is just fabulous. And let's see what we see. Dragon, discover your courage. Now, very often with a deck like this, where the image is very beautiful, I would spend some time looking and seeing what I see in the picture. And what I see in the picture, there's like a home right there that seems really nice. And, you know, the idea of discovering your courage, it feels like if you go seeking it, it will happen. If you wait for it to come to you, I don't think it will. But if you have the courage to seek it, you will find it and you can make a wonderful home with someone. So that's where I would go with that. Okay. Okay, very good. And so, Dave, would you use an oracle deck for clarifiers doing a regular tarot reading? I think a lot of people do. I don't. But I think a lot of people do, and a lot of people find it very helpful. So that is a way to do it. Hey, Two Rocks Tarot, nice to see you. Okay, Robin Renee, I'm seeing your question. Let's use my very favorite deck, Conscious Spirit Oracle deck from US Games. That's my favorite oracle still. Look at the back. Pretty, right? Okay. So what do the cards hold regarding my love life, says Robin Renee. Okay, I did get this reversed. I acknowledge my inner child and open my heart to the joy she brings. It's Forest Frolic the Maiden. And this says to me, when we look at your love life, because it came up reversed, this says to me that you have some wounding, either from your childhood or your earlier love life, that you need to resolve before you can move on in a really good relationship, that you have to tend to the wounding that happened in the past. And as you sort of open your heart, it says here, open my heart to the joy my inner child brings. As you are able to do that, I think you will naturally attract the right person. So, you know, so there's a way that all works. Okay, so let's see. And Angelic Michelle had a love life question. I saw A today and I think our communication was better, but I'm wondering if this is a progressing romance. Okay, so here I have the inner wizard. Message cards from your higher self. So what would your higher self say in answer to this question? No pictures at all. Oh, this is interesting. I consciously choose to listen to my inner urge. So, and then on the back it says, sometimes you want to run away from your own personality in the outside world. A very wise you wants to close down the shop, stop doing business, and take time off in order to contemplate. Please allow this vital and healing process. So I need to look at how these cards work, because it sort of feels like there's a short message and a longer message on the inside. And those two messages seem to be opposite. So we've come to an impasse. This card, this deck for love readings, no. But kind of a cool deck nonetheless, right? Just a lot of words. And so oracle decks can be pictures with no words, a lot of words with no pictures, or pictures and words. Okay? Let me answer your question with another deck. Let's go with, okay, we just did too many words. Let's go with pictures with no words. Oracle of Visions, Ciro Marchetti. Is this a relationship? Completely unclear. You see how we have those like mirrors and masks and little Russian dolls. It's so hard to unpack what's going on here. Maybe yes, maybe no, maybe yes, maybe no. And that goes back to what the word card had to say as well. Unclear. I think you both have feelings. I think you're both interested, but I think that there's fear maybe on both sides as well. And so that would lead to a whole other question, which is, well, what should you do? And let's go, where's that? Magical Times Empowerment cards. What should you do, Michelle? Healing. Bless all in need of healing, hope and love. Spirit, grant us strength and wisdom. Guide us to the path of wellness. For both of you right now, put your energy toward your well-being and toward the well-being of the other person. Don't worry about relationship, worry about well-being. And then if there is well-being, relationship can flower if it's going to. How about that? All right. All right. So Lisa, as far as an oracle deck with chakras, this one, Conscious Spirit Oracle cards, has all 7 chakras in here, as well as 4 elements and a bunch of other things. Okay. Okay. So let's see. Did I miss a bunch here? Let's see. I don't think so. I think I'm caught up. All right. So that was a sort of fun thing, a fun escapade into doing love life readings with random oracle cards. Some work better than others. Would we think that an oracle deck that was about love life would read better or worse than tarot? Hard to say. Hard to say. Horace Van Dunn is wondering if me or anyone in the group can recommend angel card oracle decks. Right? That's well, I really do like Healing with the Angels. Now, I also have Kim Dreyer's Angel Inspiration deck. This one, see, I don't know, man. I don't know. This one has pictures and words. Silence your thoughts. Universal heart. Forgiveness. And there is a guidebook, so it goes a little deeper. You know, I don't know. Like, what makes an angel deck? Is it a deck that works with archangels specifically? Or is it just a deck with pictures of angels on it? You know? It's an interesting question. Angelic Michelle can help with angel decks. I bet. Okay. And what Dave says about that mask card says to me that someone is afraid to reveal their actual self, but keeps presenting masked images of themselves to others. And that's what Diana says too. They are both still hiding behind masks. 12-step tarot. I just remember that I have a 63 card deck that I bought at a yard sale for 25 cents. It's the I Ching, like detailed fortune cookies. So the I Ching is its own system, like tarot. The I Ching is an old system. Now, I Ching cards, not terribly traditional. The traditional I Ching is created by throwing yarrow sticks. More modern people throw coins. You throw 3 coins 6 times, and from that you create a hexagram. And this is probably the cards, and it's probably 64 cards, because there's 64 hexagrams. But each hexagram can have moving lines, and that changes it. So one hexagram goes to another. So that's a whole system. That's a whole system. Okay. Oh, Angelic Michelle, you like Oracle of Visions. Okay. So Peggy Lou says, I like the little white book that comes with Oracle decks. And see, this is what I so don't. Like, if I have to read the Oracle, if I have to read the little white book, I'm like, yeah, no, done. Just because I've been reading tarot for so long. I want to be able to work with a deck without having to go to a book. And so that's a thing. Now, of course, if you read I Ching, you never stop going to the book. It's always about the book. It is literally the book of changes. So it's interesting that it's cards, because there's so much about each hexagram. I don't know how you're going to fit that on a card. So that's interesting. All right. And Peggy Lou, I also like to use runes too, and that's a specific system as well. Okay, so what have we discovered so far? We have discovered that there are oodles of kinds of Oracle decks, that some of them have a specific purpose. Now, some of them reflect a particular culture. I wanted to call to your attention by Gita Rash, the Mahabharata tarot, not tarot, Oracle. And this works with this epic story from India. And there's a card for like each thing or each character or each happening within this epic tale. And so it works very much like tarot in that, in the same way tarot tells a story, this tells a story. But again, very, very unique. So some decks are for a specific purpose. Some decks work with a specific culture or theme. Some decks are all picture, no words. Some decks are all words, no pictures. Some decks are words and pictures. A lot of the people here really like to use Oracle decks in conjunction with tarot. Others like to do single card draw. I'll tell you what I like to do is with certain classes and groups is to use an Oracle deck that has a lot of evocative images and maybe some words, and have each person draw a card and then talk about it. And it's a very good way of opening people up to card reading in general. I love doing that. All right. So now we heard how Marion created her Oracle deck. I'm going to go through and I'm going to look for the other love life questions. I said I would only do 1 or 2, and now I feel like I have to do all of them, and people are having fun with it. So I'm going to go back and try to find those and do those, and that gives you an idea. I'm going to use some of the other decks I have here, so that'll be fun. And I'd like you to sort of write in, if you were to create an Oracle deck, how would you do it? And then when I'm done doing these readings, I'm going to share a couple of ideas about that. So if you were to create an Oracle, what theme might you use? How would you do it? Marion made flowers. And what she does, the way she reads it, is she looks at the flower. Whatever word comes to her mind is the key word, and that's what takes her to where she's going. Okay, so now let's see, what love life questions did I miss? Okay. I know I missed a couple here. Okay, Ashley Pie. Nice to see you. Is my current connection going to last? So I'm going to try Art Through the Eyes of the Soul Oracle. So the interesting thing about these two decks, Art Through the Starstream Oracle and Art Through the Eyes of the Soul Oracle, is they can be shuffled together and read together or separately. And that's kind of interesting. So Art Through the Eyes of the Soul is what I'm going to do next. And this is for Ashley Pie. Is my current connection going to last? You are cherished and protected. And so I think that bodes well. And I mean, whether or not a relationship is going to last is completely unpredictable. I have to tell you that. But this suggests there is at least love here, and that's a good place to start. Okay. Okay, let's see. And Sunita, will I meet my life partner in 2022? Let's go back to, well, let's use this one. Let's use Mahabharata, which, like, I have no idea with these cards. I have no idea. They're very specific. Like, this is one where you'd probably really need to use the book and understand the story. But let me just pull a card and see what happens. And I think with Oracle decks and with Tarot, when you're learning, when you're exploring, there is nothing wrong with just let's pull a card and see what happens. Seriously. And if it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense. Do something else. You know, it's not like the world is going to end. Be willing to explore. Okay, Sunita. Card 36, impartial. You know, this makes me wonder if there are other forces at work here. If there might be like someone who's going to try to match you up with somebody, if you're going to use a dating site or something of that nature, and this might even be advice there to let people try to help match you, and that might work out for you. Okay. All right. And Angelic Michelle, there's definitely fear, right? Okay. Let's see. Okay. Sorry, I'm just... Okay, Diana Price, my goodness. Is love ever coming to me? Well. All right, I'm down. And let's use this Angel Inspiration deck. I'm just having so much fun playing with all these decks, right? Let's see. Archangel Uriel. So you know what that says to me? That says to me, I want to read about it. Let me go to the book. Exactly what I hate. Keywords: wisdom, creativity, intellect. Meaning of name: fire of God. Uriel's wisdom and guidance is gentle and subtle, yet powerful. He assists you to find solutions in all areas of your life where you may have become stuck. And then it goes on. So you know what? Here's the thing. You're going to get your own life together first. Ain't no one coming in to rescue you, and you weren't looking for someone to rescue you. You are connected to a higher power that will get you to where you need to go. And after that, if you want love, there will be love there. How about that? Now, is that helpful or is that, I mean, how helpful are these readings? How interesting are these readings? I just don't know. You tell me. You tell me. Okay. And so for oracles, Lisa would use herbs and spices. I love that. Oh my gosh. Clove could be like home, right? And lavender could be love. Oh my gosh, so much fun could that be? Um, Angelic Michelle, I would use nature pictures, ocean, rocks, sand, hills, mountains. Depending on the picture of the ocean, it could mean trouble ahead or calm seas ahead. Sand, gritty times, mountain, uphill battle. I love this. Diana would create maybe a paranormal oracle. Okay, Sally, here's a love life question. I have no interest in a love life. Am I just subconsciously throwing up a wall of protection? Let's go back. Where are we going? Where are we going? Let's go back to my favorite conscious spirit oracle cards, just for fun. It was reversed. I'm grateful for the abundance nature and the universe provide me. The card is abundance, and the answer is reverse. So yeah, you're afraid. You are definitely coming from a place of fear that you will not have what you need, and that a relationship will take away from you. That a relationship that you don't have what you need anyway, and a relationship will take away from you. That's your fear, and that's what you're doing. Yeah. Yes. Okay. And Lisa Harmon, back to the urban spice. Each urban spice has their own meaning. For example, rosemary for remembrance, the bitterness of rue. Oh, I love this. I love this. Good Journeys Tarot. When I couldn't find anything I liked, I began doing images in an art style and medium I enjoyed, but I haven't gotten very far with it. I started with elements, maybe like seasons, Sabbats, and moon phases. I love this. I love this. Diana, you were going to write a novel about Uriel. And see, this is where these cards are very powerful. That's amazing. Of all the cards, I've got 11 decks here. Of all the decks I could have chosen, I chose a deck with that card. And of all the cards within that deck that I chose, it was that one about whom you were going to write a novel. So I think that may be the universe telling you to write that freaking novel. Peggy Lou, see, I told you, the book. That's great. That's great. Sunita, I would do a deck of the brown goddesses, Asian, African, Indian, but make them accurate. Yes! Man, like that one where that decided that Kali wanted to be beautiful. Oh my gosh, gag me with a spoon. A lot of Western decks misrepresent them, yes. Lisa Harmon, I'm recently widowed. I'm so sorry. Will the gentleman, yes, that's plural, stop asking to be my friend? Oh man. Okay, let's go back to Magical Times Empowerment cards. Creation. Remember your thoughts, shape your future. Your words create today. Your choices become your reality. You can manifest them going away. And I'm so sorry for your loss. Okay. Robin Renee, I could make an oracle deck with quotes from classic books. Sally Larkin, I would love to have a deck of classical art masterpieces. They speak volumes. So much fun, right? So here are some thoughts I have. How did random token divination first begin? I mean, that's what all of this is, right? It's all random token divination. Imagine way back in cave person times, Og and Augette, shall we say. Og goes out hunting, and he has a really great day hunting, and he finds a beautiful stone, and he takes that stone, he puts it in a bag. And I remember this stone. I got this stone on the day of a really good hunt. Another day, Augette goes out and she sees a field of beautiful flowers, and she brings home a stick, and the stick reminds her of a field of beautiful flowers, puts it in the same bag. And over time, they find these tokens, and each token has to do with what they experienced on a particular day. Suddenly, they have a divination set. I think that's how random token divination must have begun. Now, Nancy Hendrickson has created an oracle of pictures. She's an iPhone photographer. I love that, right? Wherever she goes, she takes pictures and she thinks about the pictures according to that day. She's printed them out and made an oracle of these pictures she's taken on her experience of, her days, just like Og and Augette, only with an iPhone. And I think that's wonderful. IT guys probably use stones or bones or both. Right. Dave Victor, what I'm getting from all this is that tarot is the serious path and the other oracles, Lenormand, Kipper, etc., are fun alternatives, sprinkles on the main dish. I don't think, no, I would agree. I would disagree. I would say that's because this is my YouTube channel and I'm a serious tarotist and I attract serious tarotists. If you are on a Lenormand channel, no, the Lenormand people are just as serious. The Kipper people are just as serious. So I think that what you're picking up is the flavor of my channel because that's the flavor of me. Hey, Diana, nice to see you. What a serendipitous moment. I was just thinking of you and messaging you to ask a question tomorrow, and that came up as I was pulling Uriel. That's great. Karen Winkle, here's a question from Karen. I love my husband very deeply, but I'm looking for a way to get him to take care of all the things. Guidance. Let's go to mystical wisdom for that. That's going to require some mystical wisdom, wouldn't you say? Okay. Believe in your dreams. Which to me is like, yeah, in your dreams, that's going to happen. But it says believe in your dreams. And so this is where I'm going. You're a magical person. What you have to do is enter his dreams magically. And your higher self needs to talk to his higher self in his dream state to plant the suggestion that he must do these things. That's what I would do. I swear to goodness. Is that manipulative? Probably, but I'd do it anyway. All right. Okay, Jamie Saunders, a love question. I had a realization today that I hold too much love in my heart for one person. My love is meant for humanity. Am I on the right track or am I making excuses for my bad luck in love? Oh, isn't that so very interesting? What have we here? The Winged Enchantment Oracle deck by Lisa Hunt. Lisa Hunt's going to be at StarCon. This is another one we're going to have to read the book, I betcha. Yeah, we're going to have to read the book on this one. All right. Okay. And there's a lot of recommendations here. I'm not reading them all aloud, but if you are in the market for an oracle deck, definitely read through and take these recommendations and write them down. Okay, so Jamie, are you on the right track? Or are you making excuses for your bad luck in love? This is a deck that's basically all pictures, and we have Hawk. And we understand that Hawk flies high and looks at all of humanity, right? But let's go to the book, because you really have to here. And that's card 15, Hawk. You are perceptive. You are the eyes of the universe. So yeah, you are on the right track. And that doesn't mean that you won't find love, but it does mean that if you do this larger thing, you will stop having bad relationships. You'll get away from the drama and maybe open yourself up to a good relationship. So this is all about, I didn't read the whole thing, but it's all about being a visionary. So yeah, I think you're entirely on the right path there. And isn't it interesting that, even though I'm mixing it up with all of these different decks, and I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I mean, this is very interesting. You're seeing me completely out of my element here. But it does feel like we are getting profound messages, in a good way. Okay. Write that book, Diana. Yeah, indeed. Yes, Lisa Hunt is in the process of doing the Fairy Tale Tarot over. I'm so excited. And she's going to be in person at StarCon. I'm very, very excited about this. Okay. Okay, Ana Luisa would create an oracle of dolls to work with the inner child. That's so great. So, all of you who have your oracle decks, and if you don't have your oracle deck, if you have a tarot deck, use a tarot deck. And I will choose from a deck here as well. Let's all, as a final exercise, do one question, one card from your own deck, and then tell us what you got and how you interpreted it. And the question is simply, what do I need to know at this time? And I am going to go back to Oracle of Visions. 12-step tarot, I had no way of knowing if I was playing with a full deck. And I could be wrong about that, but I think there are 64 hexagrams. I Ching was my first serious method of divination back in the day. When I didn't know the word divination, I was just like, let's toss the coins. All right. One card from your own deck. And if all you have with you is a tarot deck, do tarot. And I'm using Oracle of Visions. What I need to know. So this is what I got. And I am taking it as like, you just keep going and keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't get distracted. Keep doing what you're doing. You'll get where you need to go. That's what I got. So let us know what you got. When is StarCon? January 21st through 23rd, online and in person. And for 30 days after, you have access to the recorded classes. An IT guy says, yes, 64 hexagrams. Yes, that's what I thought. Okay. So go ahead. Let us know. What card are you getting? What did you learn? Okay, Angelic Michelle, I pulled the friendship card. Be with the ones who make you shine, who love you and really care. Keep those and let the others go. I interpret that as don't feel guilty about being assertive. I love that from Magical Times Empowerment cards. So beautiful. So I think what we've discovered here today is that oracle cards are fun, but also deep and meaningful. And that was kind of going back to where Ali Mammon was. You know, are they all just fluffy? And the answer is really not. They feel that way, but really not. Okay, Karen Winkle, talismans of potency. Work with sacred tools to enhance my own healing. Yes, and to get into your husband's dreams. Diana Price, guest of honor. Travel more with homestays to pull me out of my shell. I just booked a stay in central Guatemala with a young couple and their 2 cats. There you go, perfect. Sarah, using animal spirit, I got porcupine. I'm in a new chapter of my life and should approach it with childlike curiosity. That's beautiful. Kathy, I pulled Come Together. For me, it's about finding my tribe. I hope we're part of that. Diana Ripple, now you're an artist. You could create a great oracle with the way you do art. I would love to see a humorous, how did I not see that? Or believe it or accept that or admit that deck. That's hilarious. I love that. Good Journeys Tarot, I got Union. It's a lovely image of 2 people, yin yang, sun, moon, 2 snakes swirling around them. So that's beautiful. Okay, Charles Smith, The Spiral from Women's Runes is about rites of passage. Pretty good passage. Pretty good since we are in transitional parts of our life. The spiral goes on. Lisa Harmon, Moonology, Waning Moon. What do I need to release? Those men. DH, Lightworker Oracle, Divine Grace, the Law of Efficiency. What does that mean to you today? Rick Wasner, Whisper of Love, treasure your loved ones. It's important for me not to take loved ones for granted. Beautiful. Peggy Lou, Healers of the Earth. I got Meeting Your Turn, like attracts like, kindred spirit mirror. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Good Journeys Tarot, Human Connection would be great. It looks like that's coming. Sally Larkin, Kindness, Live with Compassion. Open your heart to all life forms. Be an angel with hands. I've been cranky and hateful lately. I hate being here and hate this time of year. So yeah, kindness. So what did we learn today? Oracle cards work. Adrian Worthy, Oracle of Mystical Moments, A Long Way Home. During our pilgrimage, we connect memories strong enough to fill a castle and light enough to buoy our voyage. Does that resonate for you? Does that make sense? Jamie Saunders, The Sacred Forest Oracle, Bee Spirit, Prosperity. The sweet abundance of the universe is in my life a field of flowers. I need to work with a group of like-minded people to gather it and enjoy. I love it. Sunita, interesting, I never asked about love. I used Rose Tarot and got Knight of Cups, which means romance and partnership, and deeper commitment. Yes, indeed. That's beautiful. Beautiful. So, Betty pulled one from Tarot and Oracle, Magician and Intuition and Manifestation, and they go together. Bang, mic drop. So there's a lot of power in this. I think we have discovered a lot of power. And so the key is to explore and have fun and see how it works for you. And yes, Sally Larkin, we miss you so much. I hope you come back to Florida really soon. We miss you. All right, my friends, I can't believe it, but that's our time. Should we do this again? This was fun, right? Was this fun? Was it helpful? Was it silly? What was it? Right now, before we sign off, vote. Do we do this again, or do we decide that this is silly? I need to know. I thought it was fun. I had fun with it. I had fun dusting off all the decks I never use and sort of playing with them and seeing how pretty they are and enjoying them. So let me know. Either vote for never do this again or let's do this once in a while. Angelic Michelle says, yes, let's do it again. Okay, cool. Cool. Diana, using the Rider-Waite. So nice to see you. Yes to 64 hexagrams. Yes. Queen of Swords, stand up for yourself and don't cave in. Yeah, you go. You go. Oh, and we got a lot of yeses. Do it again. So fun. Thank you so much. Well, I appreciate all of you. And silly fun, but real too, right? Right? So we will do it again. We'll do it in a couple of months. And Sarah, let's do a class on using Tarot and Oracle together. That would be fun. Yeah, absolutely. And you know, there's a part that's like, well, I can't teach that because I don't do it. But hey, I'll make the space for it and we'll do it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Friends, I want to thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Charlie, this is you using the Seven of Wands reversed. I've been a little overwhelmed, so I need to manifest turning that up and getting control. Yeah. Hey, Wendy, nice to see you. Haven't seen you in a long time. Thanks for being a member. We're just signing off. Oh my gosh. But happy to see you. All right. Really appreciate all y'all. Please like this video. If you have not liked this video, please do. Please like this video. And thank you for being here. If you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. Please do subscribe. If you have subscribed, please do consider being a member. And we'll be back soon. I think I'm going to do the newsletter recap on Wednesday since Thursday's Thanksgiving. And all our December stuff is up for classes and meetups and stuff like that. So take a look. Peggy 3 times today. Yeah, we are all teachers here. That's exactly right. And I appreciate that. That's a great thing. Friends, thank you so much. I really appreciate all of you. Special shout out to the members. Thank you for making all of this possible. Again, please like this video. Take really good care. Be good.